What's up, guys? Justin from thecarflip.com. This is a quick update video. I post on YouTube and I post on Facebook, and generally the daily videos are called a daily flip, and then there's an episode number behind that. But I'm not making this a daily flip because, just quite honestly, they haven't been daily. Like, I've not been posting regularly for a while. And the reason for that is there's several different reasons. Things have been really crazy here at the dealership in a good way, and things have been slow at points, and then I've taken on a little bit more of a workload at my dealership. One of those reasons is because I've kind of restructured the way that I have a mechanic, or how I use a mechanic, or mechanics plural. I have in the past had a mechanic full-time, and I'm just gonna sit down on my desk here. I've had a mechanic full-time, so I've had a guy here 4 days a week for 9 hours a day, and I've restructured that to going to a job-by-job basis, which is good and bad, and it was a completely mutual decision between me and my mechanic. He had had some issues that were making it tough for him to be here during the week, and so we kind of restructured it. I'm doing some jobs with him. Like right now, he's doing a time and chain job for me, and I'm paying him X amount of dollars on the actual book time, which I use Identifix for my labor times, which uses Chilton and a motor labor guide for those of you that are curious. So I've restructured that, and the thing of restructuring that is there are some things that I take on my plate, and because he's not here, things that I'll take care of that he potentially would have in the past. So I'm kind of getting used to that and working that into my schedule, and then deciding how I'm going to restructure that. If I'm going to hire somebody, like a college kid or someone to come in and do some stuff for me. I have been able to find a really good detail guy that's taken some workload, or a workload off of me, if that's the thing, taking a load off of me and some other time. So that's something that I used to do myself that now I have subbed out to another guy, which actually, by my clock, what time is it? It is almost 20 till. He's gonna be here in 20 minutes to detail a couple that I bought yesterday at an auction. So a lot of this really just comes down to time management on my front. And for those of you that are watching this video to learn about car flipping, you're probably thinking, this video has nothing to do with car flipping, and it will. Like, here in just a second, I'm going to talk about that. But for those of you that are used to consuming videos on a daily basis, or me responding to questions or comments in a more timely manner, this video is just to kind of tell you why I haven't been. And part of it is not having a mechanic here full time. Part of it is my workload has changed a little bit. And part of it, honestly, is just because I've procrastinated. You would think pulling out your phone like I'm doing right now and just making a video would be easy, and it is. But there are things that go into it. Like, for example, in my side office here, I have thousands of dollars in video equipment, and this is horribly nasty in my office. So I'm going to go very quickly. Just this camera right here, I mean, it's a very expensive camera. There's several different lenses that you can use for it. When you make the video, you have to take the SD card out, you put it in the computer, you have to edit it, so you have to chop the front, chop the back if you want to. You can chop out stuff in between, you can edit different parts of the video, then you upload it to YouTube, you upload it to Facebook. There's several different things you have to do, and the time side of that has been difficult, which is why I'm on a phone right now, which is why I have my Apple AirPod in. There's a whole nother piece of equipment that actually I use for sound for that, so it's the actual mic, and you'll probably see me use it in the future. I'm not going to completely abandon that equipment because it gives a lot better video quality. The sound is a lot better, but I have to mic myself up. You have to make sure you're synced up, and I think just transitioning over to car flipping, a lot of times for those of you that are just getting started, or have found this channel or this Facebook group because you're like, I kind of, want to get started, I think this would be something awesome, but you just haven't pulled the trigger yet. You've never actually bought a flip. You keep looking at deals, but you don't actually do anything. And I think what I'm struggling with in my time management and being regular in my content is probably similar to what you're dealing with in pulling the trigger on your first flip, because there's a lot that goes into it, right? I mean, there's knowing how much you should pay, there's understanding the mechanical side of it, but when it really comes down to it, it's actually just putting in the work. It's just doing it, and it's being willing to completely commit to something. And for me, I haven't completely and fully committed as I should be to my platform, to the car flip, I mean, to the website, even to the members of the course. Things have been lacking there. So there's some changes that are going to happen there, and just quick shout out to the members of the car flip course. if you have gone to log into the course, I'm revamping the platform, and I literally broke the course yesterday. Like, I went to click in, I was trying to improve something, and I broke it. Like, you can't log in right now. So I'm in the process of changing us over to a new platform, which is gonna be much easier to use, and it's gonna be easier for me to upload new content to. So if you're seeing that, you'll see a post from me later, but the course is broken because I didn't know what I was doing. And that's another side to content being delayed and not being put out at all on my point, is because I had not only a mechanic, I had a part-time videographer slash editor slash website developer, which was great. He did great work for me. And the end of last year is when he really was putting out the most content for me, and I was putting out the most content and letting him edit it. And things with the business, this business, the car business, slowed down. We had in Raleigh, North Carolina, we have the state fair, which, like, business goes dead during that time, at least for me. And then after that, or right after or before, there was a hurricane, I think it was Florence, if I'm not mistaken. It put a hurting on areas around us. Not so bad in Raleigh, but business was just non-existent. And to the point where I wasn't selling vehicles, to the point where I had to let my videographer slash editor slash website developer go. And he was the one that was doing all of the behind the scenes stuff on my videos and on the course. He built the entire course. And so he is in another position now at another place. And so it's difficult for me just to grab him and say, hey, can you change this? Can you tweak this? Can you do this for me in this thing that you built? Because he's obviously preoccupied now. So I said all that to say this. A lot of times you just have to do the simplest thing, which for me right now, as this website goes and as this Facebook group goes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just pulling out my phone, putting my AirPod in, and making a quick video. For you in car flipping, it might just be pulling out your phone and scanning through Facebook Marketplace. It might just be scanning through Craigslist and learning market value. It might be making an offer. And maybe you're at a point where you don't even have the money yet. Maybe you have to figure out how to get $1,000 in your pocket before you can even buy a car. Maybe it's looking in your closet like I just did and saying, hey, I'm not using that laptop anymore. I'm not using that iPod. Are there still iPods? I don't know. I'm not using this stuff. I can sell it, I can get the money, and then I can buy something. So wherever you are, there usually is like something really small, like a super small thing you need to do to actually get yourself going. For me this morning, it was pulling out my phone, right? And the reason I pulled out my phone is because I read a comment on YouTube last night, actually about the last video I made on YouTube, and I forget the guy's name, but I'm gonna comment back to him here in just a minute probably. But it was like, it was completely true. And he was like, there he is again, like a fart in the wind. And it's funny for me because as a kid, I wasn't allowed to say fart. Actually, one of my cousins said it one time. This is completely unrelated, but he said it, and I told my mom that he said the F word, and she was like, he said, what? And she was like, what is it? She wanted me to say it, and I was like, well, it has 4 letters. And she was like, you got to be kidding me. She was like getting really upset because my aunt babysat me. And then I said it for her, and she wasn't so mad. But I wasn't allowed to say fart as a kid, so hopefully my mom's not watching this video. But he's like, yeah, there he is, and there he goes, and where'd he go? And that's why I'm making this video, because this is the simplest thing that I could do to get back on track. And for you, maybe you flipped cars in the past and you're not doing it anymore, and you want to make the small decision to do the first thing today. Maybe you haven't before. Maybe the first thing is selling that old whatever, selling your bike, doing whatever to raise the money. Maybe you have the money and you just need to make offers. Do the small thing, because that's what this video is for me. And for you, it definitely can yield benefits. For me, that's why I have this business. That's why I get to do what I do every day. I get to, like this morning, I got to get up, I got my kids out to school, I hung around the house for a little bit. I took my time, I came into work, I made my coffee, and now I get to do what I want to do. Now, there are definitely parameters and there are things that I have to do, but my lifestyle is completely predicated upon the choices that I made, like right where you are. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was very fortunate to have a dad that knew the business, that literally taught me pretty much everything that I know, and I still had to make the choice to buy the car, to fix the car, to figure it out. And that's why I'm where I am today. Maybe you have no aspiration of having a used car dealership one day, but maybe like an extra $5,000 a year would be life-changing for you. Maybe selling a car a month and figuring out how to actually make the $2,000 profit that I usually make on most of the cars that I sell. If you do the math, that's an extra $24,000 a year. Maybe that would allow you to quit your second job or to spend more time with your kids. You know, fill in the blank. But for me, it's always come down to the small choices. It's always coming down to just doing the next right thing. And for me this morning, it is this. So I will be posting this on probably Facebook and YouTube, and I should have looked up your name, but to the person that said, where in the world have you been? You're like a fart in the wind. You're the man. Thanks for the motivation. And I will see you guys in the next video, because after this, I would just need to do the next right thing, which will be to post more content. And actually, one of the really important things is to fix the course, the car flip course that I just broke. So that's gonna be on my to-do list today. But my next right thing for my business, I'll show it to you, and then I'm gonna log out, is I am actually sewing. Don't tell my wife I know how to do this. But for me, my next project today is to fix this seat. I've already fixed this here. This is a vehicle, and I know it's not pretty. It's like actually kind of janky, but anyway, no one's gonna look at this. No one's gonna notice this is on the back of the seat. So they're gonna come in. Oh, I gotta push this down. They're gonna see the seat as so, and they'll never look at that back portion. It just needs to be presentable. So for me, I gotta do that. And then I can get this vehicle up for sale, because this vehicle, this 2005 Jeep Wrangler, has literally been sitting on my lot because I've been procrastinating to do that. And for me, that seems to be a consistent problem that I have, is procrastination. So hopefully that's motivation for you. If you watched all the way through this 11-minute video of me rambling, don't procrastinate, do the next right thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.